Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Well, I want to talk about how much must we fear? Mhm. How much must we fear? Today, everybody's talking about Nolan Wells. I mean, he's a high priority today. You know, there's God, there's Jesus, and then there's Nolan Wells, pretty much in the black community. And he's the young man that went out on a boat, went out with his friends, the only black person with a group of white friends they've been friends with for years. And so he went out on a boat, and all the white people came back, and Nolan didn't come back. And there's a lot of suspicion, allegedly, around his non-return. And so you can watch on every news station and all over YouTube about Nolan Wells. And so I find myself asking, how much must black families fear before we stop asking what they should have done? How much must we fear as black people before we ask what they should have done? I mean, so the mother lets her son spend time with his friends, and they've done this before. This wasn't the first time. And so, you know, I'm sure she wasn't thinking anything. All of us can sit back and say, I woulda, shoulda, couldn't have, woulda. But I get the impression that they have gone out before, because he's 17, 18. So they've done some things before. And mothers let their sons go with their friends. Boys, you know, it's a boy child, girl child, we're like, where you going? Who with whom? And all that. And then we'll be riding by to make sure they're there. But boys, she's like, let boys be boys. Sad kid. This is so sad. I'm overwhelmed with sadness. Like he was my child. But I felt like he was my child because he was in Mississippi. I didn't even know people had friends like that in Mississippi, the truth be told. And then it was Mississippi. Everybody knows Mississippi. You know, anyway, people every day let their kids go out with friends, but I don't know. So, you know, children go to birthday parties and football practice. We do that. Kids do that. They go on fishing trips too. But I don't know. It was Mississippi. But they were young people. And I promise you, I'm pretty sure the mom and nobody thought anything about it. The young men either, because they have done this before. This is not the first time. They've been friends for a long time. Nobody's not thinking about, will I see my kid again? Instead, it's, I'll see you later. I'll see when you get back. But now this thing is adding up, you see. For me, it was Rodney King, where I can go back to Emmett Till, because I was a kid. We were the same age, you know. So I'm going to start with Emmett Till for me. And then there's Rodney King, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd. George Floyd, you know, we watched a man die on national TV. I don't know what to think of any of this. I mean, his name is forever in the headlines. I want them to find out. I want Mr. Crump to find out, Attorney Crump, to find out, and just to tell us. The mother wants to know. We all want to know. At this point, I think all America wants to know what happened. I really, really believe that, because there are a lot of kids right now that are in the situation like that. Mr. Wells not the only one that's went out with a group of white kids. There's some more little boys and little girls that's looking sideways now. The parents are looking sideways. The black parents, I'm thinking, are looking sideways. How many of y'all saw the movie Get Out? See, That should be required for Black America. That's the movie. This should be, when you have the talk, and then when you finish doing the talk, then you have the movie. I remember on The View, I remember Joy and the other white people there being amazed that Sonny had to give the talk. She was like, you had to do the talk? I'm like, we're Black. You could be as rich as rich can be. Then they stopped some rich folk. Ask a rich, very wealthy Black man who has a driver now, how many times he got stopped as a kid, as a young'un, because of the color of his skin. We live with the mark. We live with a mark. And so when you have the talk now, people looking sideways that got white friends. Parents are thinking, I don't know. This story needs to come out. And when it comes out, when the story comes out, however the story comes out, we need for it to come out and come out soon. We already got so much tension going on with Iran and, Senator Graham died right in the middle of all this, and Mitch McConnell, we don't know they say they know where he is. I'm not sure. Uncertainty with the elections in November, a fear that perhaps we won't have them, or there'll be some manipulation, as it was allegedly spoken by Elon Musk, who said himself to the president, you know how you won this election. He said it. I didn't say it. I didn't make that up. I mean, so we don't know if so much doubt. Who's telling the truth? There's a story, something called Truth or Consequences. They used to come on. And that's where we are now. And so this Nolan Wells story, somebody needs to say something quickly. Now, we're not up in arms to the streets, but I don't have a whole lot to say to a lot of people these days. I don't have a lot to say. And I'm holding myself back from saying a lot to people because I can't tell friend from foe. I don't know who's caring and who's kin and who's friend. I don't know anymore. I can't tell by the outside looking in, because those boys were having fun and Nolan was just with his friends. Whew, I'm worn out about it. I don't know about you. I want the truth to come out. You don't want to think that it's dangerous, but see, back in the day it was dangerous. There was a danger in being seen with Black people or white people. It was a danger on both sides, you see. I remember, I didn't like this about segregation. I didn't like the fact that we couldn't go to any of their places, but Pascal's La Carousel, which was a club on Hunter Street. There used to be Martin Luther King. They had the best jazz artists, Black. It was on the Black circuit that they would travel when they would come to Atlanta. And the line would be full of white people. And they would be in line trying to see Jamal, Amal, trying to see jazz artists, but I couldn't come to your club. See, if we go back to that, I don't want you to be able to come to my stuff if I can't come to yours. That's just it. That's the way, I'm at that point in my life. If you don't want me to come to yours, then you can't come to mine. And it was terrible. And now we have this story of a young man just out having a good time. You can see they were having a ball. There's no need of blurring the faces, because the faces originally have been captured on digital media, and they're on a lot of people's YouTube stations and TikToks and Facebooks. Those three boys cannot hide. And they said that one of his friends was on today, but it wasn't one of those three. It was somebody else that was on there. Those three haven't come up and said anything yet. And so, is it dangerous to have friends? You should not have to vet. I mean, we do vet people, but they grew up together. That's my understanding. I may not have it all together. And so there was no fear of him going with a bunch of people he grew up with. What happened? Who got in it? What happened? I can't wait to find out. Good, bad, indifferent. I want to know. I want to know. Right now, Black America needs to know. White America, you need to know. But Black America needs to know. Do we add him to the list? Is he added to the list? And when will the list stop growing? And when will we as African Americans, Black Americans, colored, Negroes, whatever you want, we call the names that you have given us, we cannot name ourselves because you took that from us. We do not know our tribe. So we would take the names you gave us for the time being. Our last names are all phony. We don't have any real last name. We all have the master's last name. And we have swallowed and carried it for all these years. You see, we don't know if Thomas was the name of the master, the owner of slavery, or was his first name or his last name, or did my ancestor just pick up a name and call us that? You see, so we live with a lot of falsehoods every day. We sign our name every day. We sign in somewhere. So I feel for this mother because she didn't look around and say, I don't think you should go with them, because they've been going together somewhere for years. And now my heart goes out to her and to the stepfather and to the family, because she was want to know. Nothing's adding up. I don't have all the facts, but there's a few things that I know is not adding up, especially kids with their phones. The first thing I don't know a child is separated from his phone too much. I'm 84 and I'll be 84, and mine is glued to me. So I know those teenagers, they all got all kind of stuff on their phone. They want to talk to each other every minute. So right now, this is a sad story. This is sad. And you have to choose your friends. But we can't say that about him, because we would say he is the cause of his own demise. Can't say anything about the mother, but say she is the cause of his demise. There's a cause for his demise, and that's what we need to get to. And that's what I pray that Attorney Ben Crump gets to the bottom of it. And let us know as parents, let us know as Black Americans, let us know as Americans. We all see what's happening, but you just don't want it to be up in your face like it is every minute. That you would take one of our youngins, take a kid that's out having fun to prove what? When are you going to wake up, white America? When are you going to wake up? When are you going to get a book or some kind of digital research? When are you going to look into where you came from? Look who was here. When are you going to study your own ancestry? When are you going to ask the other people to study their ancestry? All roads. Let me say that for the people in the back. Y'all not hearing me, but we all know all, A-L-L. You say you can't say all. You can in this case. All roads lead back to Lucy in Africa. All roads, white supremacists, do you know all DNA leads back to Africa? All of it. Elon Musk knows it. He knows it well. He knows the story. He's playing folk to get what he want to get. But he could tell you if you want to ask him. I believe he'll tell it. All roads lead back to Africa, to Lucy. And the evolution associated with that is not from a monkey. And you got to figure out where you came from, white America, and admit, ask the Asians, ask the Latinos, ask them what their ancestors look like. The Eskimos trying to act like they don't know. The indigenous people trying to act like they don't know. I don't understand how you were able to fool people like you fool people. We are all human race. When God made us, he made a great race, a people to help one another. And instead of helping one another, we have hurt one another so badly. Even all skin ain't kin. It's so sad. But I believe in loving thy neighbor as thyself. I don't know. I've spent years loving people that hated me. And sometimes I ask myself about it, but I've loved black and white. But that's all you got is love. Because God is love. And I want this revelation to come forward and come quickly so we can shut it down and move on and prepare ourselves. Teach it. Let it be a teachable moment. I remind ourselves who we are and whose we are. I love you. I do. And you can't do anything about it. I love you.